Wah. All make mistakes. It's how we deal with our mistakes that really define our character. Oh, sure it is. Tell that to your ex. Boyfriend, after you've systematically dismantled his life. One perfectly placed football kick at a time.
Dismantled, like a ego set of lie-es. You know, my neighbor Brenda, she had this Legio Millennium Falcon. Took her weeks. And then her cat.
We're not talking about Brenda's cat. We're talking about revenge. Glorious, petty, teenage revenge.
Right? Revenge. Like when Brenda put glitter in her ex-husband's air vents. That was a mistake. Beautiful, sparkly mistake.
Welcome back to Heartbook Radio, the only show that dares to ask the tough questions about young adult literature. Today, we're dissecting Kasie West's Better Than Revenge, a title that, frankly, sets unrealistic expectations.
Unrealistic. Like thinking you can become a football kicker overnight because your boyfriend's a jerk. Because, let me tell you, I tried that once. After Brenda.
Please. The book is about Finley, a podcasting enthusiast, a phrase I use loosely, whose boyfriend, Jensen, steals her dream gig.
Steals, like a pirate, but instead of gold doubloons, it's audio files. I don't get podcasts. Are they like those old-timey radio shows? My grandma used to listen to.
Your grandma's radio habits are irrelevant. The author, Kasie West, clearly believes revenge is a dish best served. Lukewarm, apparently, with a side of self-reflection.
Self-reflection. Is that a new flavor of ice cream? Because Brenda.
Let's talk about Finley, our protagonist. A young woman so driven, so ambitious, she's willing to learn how to kick a football. Truly, the height of human achievement.
She's like a tiny, angry Taylor Swift, But instead of writing catchy songs about her ex, she kicks things. I bet Taylor Swift has never kicked a football. Probably too busy dating werewolves.
I highly doubt that. Finley's clearly suffering from some sort of narcissistic personality disorder. Convinced the world revolves around her podcasting aspirations.
Theo. Oh, Theo. He's the good guy. He helps old ladies. He volunteers. He's basically a golden retriever in human form. Except golden retrievers are loyal. Theo's dating his rival's ex-girlfriend. That's, messy.
Messy is an understatement. It's a recipe for disaster, a Shakespearean tragedy waiting to happen, except instead of poison, we have awkward teenage flirting.
Jensen, the villain. He's like every guy who's ever ghosted you on a dating application, rolled into one giant, football-shaped package of disappointment.
He's a caricature, a cardboard cut out of toxic masculinity. Though I must admit, stealing someone's podcast idea is pretty low.
Lower than Brenda's ex-husband's credit score after she maxed out his cards.
Let's not get into Brenda's financial woes. The real question is Finley justified in her quest for revenge?
Justified. Absolutely. He stole her dream. It's like stealing someone's their favorite pair of socks.
I'm not sure socks are quite on the same level as a career opportunity.
But they're comfy socks.
And then there's the grandma. A subplot that, according to one astute reviewer, takes up, at least one third of the page space.
The grandma with the secret romance. It's like a soap opera. Did she have an evil twin? Was there a long, lost inheritance?
I believe it was a relatively tame affair with a now famous artist. Though I wouldn't put it past Finley to exploit her grandmother's dementia for podcast content.
Ooh, that's dark. Like Brenda's coffee. She drinks it black, no sugar. Like a monster.
So, is this book actually any good? One reviewer called it a big disappointment. Another described it as a warm, gooey cinnamon roll. Clearly, we have a divide.
Cinnamon roll. I love cinnamon rolls. Brenda makes a mean cinnamon roll with extra frosting.
Focus. The book is being criticized for its supposedly preachy, anti-revenge message. Apparently, some readers wanted more carnage.
Carnage. Like in a horror movie. Did anyone get eaten by a shark?
No sharks. Just emotional turmoil and the crushing weight of teenage disappointment.
Disappointment? Like when you order a pizza and they forget the extra cheese.
Let's read some listener emails. Dear Heart Book Radio, I was so invested in Finley's revenge plot, and then she just forgave him. What kind of message is that sending to our youth?
Forgiveness is for suckers. Hold grudges. Like Brenda. She still hasn't forgiven her neighbor for borrowing her lawnmower 5 years ago.
Another email. Theo is the perfect book boyfriend. He's kind, supportive, and he can kick a football really far. 10 breed 10 would recommend.
He sounds boring. Give me a bad boy. A rebel. Someone who rides a motorcycle and wears a leather jacket.
I'm sensing a pattern here. You seem to prefer chaos.
Chaos is entertaining. Like watching Brenda try to parallel park.
If Finley were a sandwich, she'd be a spicy tuna melt on rye. Initially appealing, but ultimately leaves a bitter aftertaste.
And Jensen would be a plain, white bread sandwich with nothing on it. Boring and unsatisfying.
And Theo.
Theo would be a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Classic, comforting, but ultimately predictable.
My final rating, 4 out of 10 stolen podcast ideas. The premise was intriguing, but the execution was lacking, and the moralizing unforgivable.
I give it 8 out of 10 glitter bombs. Because revenge is fun, even if the book says it's not and glitter gets everywhere. Just ask Brenda.
We're out of time.
Next week, we're reviewing The Case of the Missing Meatloaf, a culinary mystery. I bet Brenda knows something about that.
Join us next time on Heart Book Radio, where we dissect literature with the precision of a surgeon and the subtlety of a sledgehammer.